Phillips.
All right, everyone, let's get into the forecast here, and we'll get right into it. Let's just take a look at Futurecast here and pull some of the models up. The track has largely not changed. The 4 o'clock advisory came in looking exactly or almost exactly the same as the last one did. And right now you're seeing intensity kind of peak up at about a Category 3, winds at about 120 so far. Now, it is set to go down in intensity as we go through the day, and I don't want to minimize this storm at all because a strong Category 2 storm is still a very, very strong storm. Take a look at the eye here. This is where you're going to see the worst of the weather, just right along the center. No big surprises there, but as it works its way towards the coastline, this comes up into the afternoon, you will start to see some of the winds really picking up here. This is when it will start kind of curving its way out over towards the east. Central Acadiana through the afternoon, we'll start to see some of the nastier rain bands. We've seen some outer stuff already, but some of the stronger ones, the ones that could produce some of those tropical tornadoes, those are going to roll through in the afternoon. You're really going to see things kind of going downhill as we get further and further into the day. By evening, we're expecting landfall sometime this evening, and that's when you're going to have that wall of wind, that wall of water coming on through out over towards Cameron, pushing into Lake Charles, Jefferson Davis Parish as well. This is when it starts to hook its way towards the east, and it's going to pull all of those impacts out there. I think that for Central Acadiana, we are going to see the worst of it after sunset tonight. So I think the worst of the impacts for Lafayette, eastern parts of Acadia Parish, St. Martin Parish, and even down towards Iberia when it comes to the wind and the rain is going to be somewhere between about 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night. It could continue on through to midnight, but it'll be that kind of time frame there, the later part of the evening, and then it will start to pick up and get worse down over through northern parts of Acadiana. But by midnight, we should start to see everything lifting out of the area, and I think as we get into the early morning hours of Saturday, the worst will be behind us, and it'll still be wet, it's still going to be windy, but we will start to see improvements by the time the sun comes up. Things are going to be looking much, much better. Let's take a look at some of the numbers when it comes to the wind gusts. Now, don't get fixated on one particular number. We're kind of talking ranges here, and there's going to be areas that kind of see that 80 to 100 mile an hour wind gusts. Those are certainly going to be possible. This is lunchtime. We're already in some areas getting those 30 to 34 mile an hour gusts. They're largely going to depend on where some of those squalls come through, but as the system as a whole makes its way in, this is 6 o'clock, you've got gusts that are going to be approaching 40 to 60 miles an hour through central Acadiana, get stronger out down along the coastline. This is 9, 10 o'clock. Again, this is when we're going to be seeing some of the worst of it, and that's when you could see those wind gusts approaching that 80 to 100, which could cause a good bit of damage. That will continue on through the night, and then again, starting to ease up in the early morning hours of Saturday. Getting to the point now where monitoring the current conditions will start to become the more important part of the forecast, and we'll be doing that throughout the rest of the day. 6:47 right now at 73 degrees.
Thanks, Daniel. Okay.